guys, I'm back. I'm back with another one. And I do apologise, I've not really been on much. I've been concentrating on AO trading a lot over the past couple of weeks. But today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going over risk management 101. Because it seems like a lot of people want to take 3 million trades a day. But I just don't understand why people want to take that many trades, overexposing themselves, and then, you know, ultimately ending up getting wrecked by the market, because the market will do that. You know, the market don't care who you are, what you are, if you are. So, you know, what you need to realise is this market is ruthless. And if it wants to take your money, it will take your money. You need to realise that and stop overexposing yourself in these markets. Otherwise, it will wreck you. It will wreck you. You know, and then people are like, but what if I miss this trade? Or what if I miss that trade? Or what if some buts? Do you know what? In these markets, if some buts don't make you money, having a great risk management plan does make you money in the long run. And I think until many people get that right and, you know, start to realise that, oh, I've made, I don't know, X amount, you know, I had this level marked out for BTC. I made 2.5% on that move there on BTC. It took, say from that candle there, let's go from this candle here to here, 2.1% times 10 is a good amount of money. So get out of the market. You don't need to actually be in the market anymore. You know? Why are we staying in the market? What? Because, oh, I want to make £1 million in a day. I want to do this in a day. I want to do that in a day. Pick 5 coins. And I've said this over and over and over and over again. Pick 5 coins. Yeah? Trade 5 coins for a month. Or even pick 2. Whichever. Trade them coins for a month. Learn the movements of them coins. And stick with them coins. I don't give a shit if Fartcoin, and I keep using that as an example. I'm not picking on Fartcoin. But you know, I don't care if Fartcoin moves 25% in that day. I have made my money here. So if I'd have gone long at this zone in BTC and my stock was below the zone and I aimed for this zone here, that there is a 1 to 2 and it took a day. That's it. It took a day. So I'm in and I'm out. It took a day. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. I need to sit around all day thinking, what if? I'm not bothered what if. I don't care. What if? So what? And until you get that mindset engraved in here, up in here, you will consistently keep losing money, more money, and more money in this market until that mindset is engraved in here. So I'm not saying you have to copy my rules, but I do have a few rules. Yes, the notepad is coming out. And then what I'm going to do after this, I'm going to go through a little bit of technical analysis on BTC. So we will go through that. Let me find this. These rules, these set of rules that I've set for myself, and I stick to every single day, because if I don't stick to these rules, I can't find it now. If I don't stick to these rules, and this risk management, ultimately, I'm going to lose in this market. I will lose. Okay? So remember that. You will lose. So the first rule I'm going to go over is preserve your capital above all else to survive in this market. That's it. Simple. If you can preserve your capital in the market, you are winning. That's it. That's rule number one. Cut your losses quickly. That's rule number two. So if you're in a losing trade, cut the loss. Get out early. Because what you could do is think, oh, well, it's going to retrace at some point, and you've shorted it here, and it just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. So instead of cutting your losses here, or where your stop loss is here, you continue to hold and hold and hold and hold and hold and hold and hold. And then ultimately, oh no, I've lost what should have been, I'm just going to throw a random number out, a $30 loss has now turned into a $130 loss because I didn't want to cut my losses. Because the market's going to retrace. The market's definitely going to retrace. But what if it doesn't? You're going to hold that trade and you're going to be in a losing trade for a long time. So cut the losses quick. Yeah, you can recover that loss. My next one is, if you make a trade and you win the trade. Sorry, I need to mute this phone. It does not shut up. So if you make a trade and you win the trade and you've made 1% that day, 2% that day, whatever, yeah, get out, leave, click that button there, go down here, click that, start, shut down, boom, see you later. I'm not bothered about what's happening after that because I've already made my money. I'm not interested. That's the mindset. That's what you should have in your mindset. But most don't. They think, well, if I take another trade, I could make another $100. Or if I take another trade, I could make another $100. If I take another trade, I could make another $100. Wow. But if you take another trade and you lose $100, that first trade where you've won $100, now you're back at break even. Well, why does that make sense? Why don't you get out? You've made the $100. Move. Just go do something. And I'll go wash up. I don't know, just something random. Just go do something. Crazy. Number 3. This is mine. You don't have to follow it. If you want to follow it, follow it. If you don't. Never average down a losing position. So if you're losing in this trade, yeah, and so you shorted it here, and it's gone up 0.4%, and your stop is here, why start averaging down if it's going to continue to move up? Just food for thought. Why don't you just cut the loss and then make another trade? Or cut the loss, think, right, I'm going again tomorrow, I'm going to watch some TV, I'm going to go wash the car, blah, 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 whatever. Never average down a losing position, my personal opinion. Let profits run. That's another one. If you've got a 2 to 1 and you've shorted here, let me just get this position up. No, wrong one. Shorted. So say we shorted here on this candle. Yeah. Wow. Honestly, sometimes look at that. And now it ain't moving. Ah, man alive. Honestly, sometimes I think, what am I doing with my life? What is this? And now it's moved my level. Get rid of that. Anyways, I'm not even going to do that. Anyway, we're going to that off. Anyways, so we're short here. Yeah, when BTC comes to this level, I'll take profits here at the top of this level. it's probably going to be a 1-to-1, maybe a 1-to-5. Yeah, your stops above that zone, your TP's in that zone. Bang, took it. I'm out of the market. I've let my profit run to where I want it to go. You know that's it's a pretty simple rule. That pretty simple. One that I keep banging on about, and I will continue to bang on about this. Never overtrade. Most won't listen to that. They will just do their own thing. Never overtrade. It will get you wrecked. Okay? Right, next one, yeah? Only risk a small fraction of your capital per trade. So, say you've got $1,000, you risk 1%, that's $10. Your stop loss is $5, whatever, $15, whatever it is, and you take profit, it's $30, $40. Happy days. I'm not bothered if I've lost $15. But I've got the potential to earn $35, $40. Thank you. I'm out of the market. You've got people out there working for $30, $40 a day, and you traded for 30 minutes and made $40. You need to think about this. There's people out there grafting to make other people more rich than they'll ever be. And you found this skill. And you're going to destroy this skill because you want more and more and more. That's greed. That's pure greed. Leave the market. Make your money. Leave the market. Make your money. Leave the market. Say you had 5 days you traded. You've won 3 days. The next day you've lost a trade. Leave the market. The following day you lose a trade. Leave the market. I've still got a 3-to-2 where I have won 3 trades that week. I have lost 2 trades that week. I am still up in my portfolio. You need to think that way. Because if you don't, you're going to lose money. Right. So, let the market tell you what it wants to do. Let the charts tell you what it wants to do. So this one is clear market signals. So like today, we've got FOMC. The market's potentially going to pump if rate cuts come in. But the last time that we had the rate cuts where the markets were high, yes, it trickled higher and trickled higher. In December, January, the market, over the next 2 years, took a shit, a major shit. So just think about that one as well. Number 8, cash is a position. So if you see a trade and that trade does not align with what you want to do, cash is the position. You are not losing. You are winning because you still have the money. You still have the dry powder. Once you start to push that dry powder in, you're no longer winning. You are literally hoping. Please let that one sink in as well. So the next one is number 10. Patience is protection. So if you've got a winning trade running, be patient with it. If it starts to lose, you have a stop loss for a reason. Do not panic. The next one, the market is always right. It's always right. This market don't care if you say, oh, well, I think it's going to come down. Do you think that the market cares that you think it's going to come down? No. The market don't care. It's not bothered. What the market is always right. So if it goes up, it's right. If it comes down, it's right. It don't matter if you think, oh, I think he's going to go here. I think he's going to go there. No, the market will tell you where it wants to go. And then the last one, the most basic one that you'll probably get taught many, many times. I'm just going to have a cup, drink of tea. Control your emotions. It's hard. It is. It's hard to control your emotions. I understand it's hard. It's very hard. But you know, once you get these set of rules, and you don't have to follow mine, make your own rules up. Once you get these set of rules in place in here, the emotions can be controlled from the rules. So don't, you know, you're going to have days where you think, oh, the market's shite, I can't be asked. If you think that, get out the market, leave the market, come again another day, preserve the capital, fight again. The longer you preserve this capital in this market, you are winning. You are above the 95% that have been in this market and are consistently losing. And then they leave the market. If you're still here after many, many years, you are winning. Remember that. You are winning in this market. So yeah, that's my risk management. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through a few charts and just see where, you know, potentially my levels, to see where it could potentially go. But like I say, the market is always right. So I'm not saying that it's going to do what it's going to do. I'm trading probabilities. So the probable outcome of this market, I'm going to potentially show you. So yeah, let's get straight into that one. Right, so we're on BTC daily. I'm on the ATS platform. If you want to trade on it, go check it out. Really good platform. I love it. I think it's a great platform. You know, this shows all your limits. I've gone through all this previously. So, you know, I don't really need to go through it again, do I? So, I said in the group, you know, we drop below this level, potential shorts in play. We get above this level, potential longs in play. So what I really want to see is, in here, in BTC, you know, I really want to see something like this, a back test, and then a move up. That's what I'm looking for, a back test and a move up. That's what I can see in BTC, because we are above this level now. And this level is a significant level, i.e. it was a supporting level, it was a resistance level. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to get this volume profile up right quick, because it moved my level, what I had in place. So I'm going to try and find this level again, which could take me a minute or two. I can't remember if that was the level there. Let me have a look. I'm just trying to get it marked out correctly. So it was the level of the week. It was at the high of this zone here, which was a high volume node. Just above us there. See, I've lost that level now. I'm sure it was here. I think it was there. I think that was the level there anyways, guys. Yeah, that was the level, that was the level. It was the gap in there, yeah. Yeah, this is the level. So this was the level that we needed to get above yesterday. Let me just close that down. So that was the level that I wanted to get above yesterday. As you can see over the past few days, you know, we've come up to it, we rejected, come up to it, and now we've closed above it. We back tested it here, and that were at dumb o'clock in the morning. I'm not trading at dumb o'clock in the morning, but you know, if we can get another little retest of this level here, you know, potentially we've got to move up towards this zone here. And then after that, you know, we do the same. We reject, we pierce, we hold, and we go again. You know, these levels are very significant, what I've got on the chart at the minute. So, you know, with the FOMC meeting as well, you know, this potentially is going to be a big move in the market, because people are going to be risk on. The only thing that's, you know, rather confusing for me is, you know, look at the volume delta. the volume delta since 2024 has gone down. It's literally just continuously gone down. But price has not reacted to that. So that's telling me here that, you know, many market participants, i.e. Retail, are no longer involved. It's the big players. I did go back before, and if you had a look when BTC, you know, was having this decline around here, if I load the days, it's going to take forever, but, you know, BTC started having this decline here. Let me see if I can load the days. It might take a while, and I will, you know, I'll cut it out of the video if I need to. So let me just do 1,000 days, and I'm going to apply that. So, right, what we're pointing out in BTC, you know, it's consistently gone up, you know, and then we start to lose this here. So if we have a little look at the CVD, we zoom the CVD in, this is 1,000 days on BTC. So this is from 2022. If you have a look at the bottom peak here, and we moved up, when we got to this zone, volume delta started to fall, but we consistently kept going up in BTC. And we're doing something very, very similar. You know, this here, if we look at the peak of the volume delta, that's, you know, small. It's only like 4 or 5K. But look how the volume delta is just continuously decreasing, but price keeps going up. If we look at the volume itself on the chart here, look at the volume. Major volume here on the start of this move. But if we look at the volume here, look at the difference in volumes. It's just continuously going down. But price is continuously going up. And I don't like the look of that there, because volume's decreasing and has continued to decrease while we have gone up nearly. We have a little look at the move from the bottom, which is around 16K. So 16K with the bottom, that's 650%, while cumulative volume delta has dropped significantly, even from the peaks, and the volume just keeps going down and down and down. So I'm not saying that price is not going to keep going up and up and up, because price could, you know. But if we have a look at these sell limits that are sat up above us here, 286 there at 125, 249 at 130, and then there's a big one at 150, 177 BTC. That's a lot of money. And then above that, at around 200K, we've only got 48 BTC. That's optimistic. And after that, we've got some little ones there. They're not going to be significant. Maybe 10 BTC, maybe 0. So there's no really significant at these levels here in BTC. You know, this is short-term plays. BTC is above that. Cumulative volume delta continues to decrease. I don't know what's going on here. You know, volume delta is down at negative 552. So what we could call this is a sailor market, where Michael Saylor just keeps buying BTC. But in the long run, you know, a lot of the major players, they are probably ready to offload BTC at these levels. And that's what the CVD is telling me. You know, there's major divergence on price going up and CVD going down. So, you know, it's going to be one of them with BTC. It's, you know, it's a gambling situation at the minute with it. We can take a look at dominance. While we're at it, we might as well. BTC dominance here. I had some levels marked out on BTC dominance on my other chart. I'm not going to get it up, but we had it here. You know, I said if we can hold this zone here, then dominance is probably going to start to trickle up. And it has started to trickle up. Everybody wants the altcoins. Everybody wants the big move in the market. Well, we'll see what we're... USDT dominance continues to decline. I said we were going to hit this level, have a little bounce. You know, I've got another level around here. If we can hold this level, then, you know, people might just end up going back into cash because everybody's worried at the minute with, you know, the economy and things like that. The dollar continues to decline and has done for a while now. You know, let's go to the weekly chart. If we have a little look. Just remove that a second. You know, the dollar, I've got these levels marked out. We are below this level. The dollar potentially could come to around this zone here before it starts to move back up. Because we are below this zone now. And this is a significant zone in the dollar. So, you know, I'll scan Ethereum right quickly. Ethereum, got some important levels on Ethereum. You know, we've got a major sell at 5k. Oh, we've got 6k. 2k sell at 6k. Anything else above that? No. Not really, no. Significant like it. At 5k in Ethereum, it's a major order of 10k. 10k sell of Ethereum at around 5 grand. So, you know, that's a significant order below us at 3k, which is a level I've got marked out. A 1k buy. Anything more at around 2k, what have we got? 1k buy. And that's about it, to be honest with you. You know, so that the significant selling pressure is a lot higher than the buying pressure. So, you know, I'm not saying that the market can't go up, because it can, but it's just risky business at the minute in these markets. If we're having a little look at CVD, let's just drop this down a minute. Oh, now I've lost that level. It's all right, I'll sort that out after. You know, at the peaks, you generally get a spike in the CVD, i.e. here. You know, that was 2024. We had a spike in the CVD. It failed to push any higher, and then eventually it shat its pants. Here, we had a peak. It retraced, and then volume started to decline again. So, you know, it's risky business at the minute in these markets. You know, like I say, last time we had a rate cut from the Fed, I think it was back in I can't remember when it was now. What, 2007, I think. And markets were at all-time highs. The market trickled higher. And then over the next 2 years, it literally went bum, 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 bum. And that from a rate cut. So we've not had any rate cuts. The market's gone higher. When we had a rate cut, the market went lower. You know, I just have that thought in there. And I think that's something to do with the bond yield, but I'll go through that in another video. So that's you know, that's all I'm going to be doing today. I was just pointing this out in these coins. I'm trying to get your risk management there in your head. Be prepared. You know, in the long run, we potentially are going to have a big drop in the market. In the short term, you know, I could see us potentially pushing this zone here and then having the drop. So keep that in mind. I'm going to get out of here, guys. Got a few things to do today. Got a few more videos to make. So yeah, that's it from me. Don't forget we've got all the links in the description below. You know, the usual jargon, blah, blah, blah. So I will catch you in the next one. Happy trading, guys.